How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Before we start, do you mind if I record this interview?
No, I do not.
All right, I just want to let you know I may share it with my colleagues, but anything you disclose will stay confidential, and we can stop recording at any time if you're uncomfortable.
Okay, sounds good.
And then, do you mind if I take a few notes? It's just mostly going to be to help me organize my own thoughts, and I can share them with you afterwards if you'd like.
Absolutely.
All right, so what brings you here today?
So, in a few weeks, my boyfriend and I are planning to move out. We have a house that we put an offer down on. And it's in the suburbs, and I'm from a really rural area, definitely Amish. So the houses are really far apart, and now they're going to be close together. And on top of that, my instead of work being 5 minutes away, it's going to be like 25 minutes away if I choose to stay there. And I don't know if I want to stay there or not because I'm really comfortable with my coworkers, and I would definitely miss them. And I'm definitely afraid of starting a new job, regardless of where it is. So I'm just kind of torn on what to do.
So you're mostly trying to decide if you'd like to stay with your current workplace or not, despite the longer drive?
Correct.
Okay. Tell me a little more about how you've been going about this decision.
So I'm also transferring schools at the semester. So I'm going to a school that is closer to where we're moving.
Mm-hmm.
The drive wouldn't be I drive 5 minutes to class and then I drive home and then I drive 20 minutes out. So it wouldn't be awful, like a terrible drive, I guess. It's only 25 minutes away. But at the same time, gas is expensive and my car is, it's older, so it definitely chugs gas. And I'm not very comfortable driving, especially on roads with more than 2 lanes.
Of course. All right, so how it seems to me, you really like your job, and this is a huge transition you're going through anyway, and you're not sure you want to add more onto that. But then you also have to consider money. Like, first of all, you're going through this movement process, and that costs a lot. And then your car is kind of a gas guzzler, and gas can add up too. So you're not sure if you want to find a job that's closer.
Yeah.
Does that make
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not a very big people. Sorry, my iPad just fell.
No, you're okay.
And I'm not a very big people person, so trying to adjust to different people is nerve-wracking to me.
Right, right. So, what aspects of your current job do you enjoy most?
I enjoy how comfortable I am with my coworkers. I enjoy that I guess we're friends. I mean, this is the closest I've ever been to coworkers before.
Mm-hmm.
The longest that I've ever had a job for. I've been working there for 6 months. Pretty I work a lot, so
Right.
so I know them pretty well, and the customers have all gotten to know me, and they all look forward to having me and stuff. So it's just I think it's the familiarity of everything is what I like the most about it, and I make pretty decent money there too.
Mm-hmm. So, you correct me if I'm wrong. You seem like someone who, once you really find a comfortable situation, like you are very happy, and you get nervous when it comes to like getting out of that comfort zone. Is that kind
I'm
of
sorry, what was
That's okay. So, correct me if I'm wrong. You strike me as someone who really enjoys being in their own comfort zone, and then when it comes time to maybe step out of it, it's a little nerve-wracking.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just I've gotten into the groove of everything. I'm, already adjusted pretty well to it. I tend to doubt myself a lot too, so I don't think I can handle a different job, but in reality, I could probably adjust pretty quickly if I have to.
Okay, so you're not sure if you're capable of making this new adjustment, especially in the workplace, because you're already going to be adjusting to living in a new area and to a new school. And it seems like you're really not sure if you can handle another adjustment on top of all that. Am I
Yeah.
kind of close?
Yeah, you're
All right.
close.
Um, can you tell me a little more about this self-doubt? Um, if you're uncomfortable, of course, no problem.
I'm just gonna try and like condense it as much as possible,
All
but
right, no
I mean,
problem.
it's always been an issue for me. I've only had like 3 jobs in my life, and I'm 20 years old. So, and it's the fact that I tend to get myself to think that I can't work because I get so like in my own schedule. Like I have my own schedule, and I don't want it to like be interrupted with mundane things like work. And I don't, and like at the same
Hmm.
time, I also don't think I could, do the same thing over and over again every day. But
So you don't like a ton of repetition in
correct.
work,
It,
especially? Okay. And then
yeah,
you like order, right? That's kind of what I'm picking up from this. Do you prefer things to be kind of similar when it comes to a schedule?
I I don't know if I would say order. Um, I don't know. Like
It's no
I'm
problem.
unorganized. Like things definitely aren't in any specific order. It's just I'd rather have everything. I It's really hypocritical now that I think about it. Like I'd rather my daily like schedule be the same, but doing the same thing every day is boring. I don't really understand it.
No, it's okay. Feelings can be really confusing, especially when it comes to like how you want to go about every day, if that makes any sense.
No, it does.
So, you said that you feel part of your self-doubt, especially when considering changing jobs, comes to not being sure if you're capable. Am I correct in drawing that to how you said you've only had 3 jobs, you feel like you're not really capable of doing as much, like adjusting to a new job and learning everything?
Um, yeah, like in my head, it's kind of like split. Like I know that I can adjust quickly. People have told me that. But at the same
Right,
time, this is a totally different thing. You don't know how to do this. You won't know how to do it. And it's going to be embarrassing.
right. I have kind of been through that myself. Um, I really respect you. Uh, sorry, I'm also trying to organize my thoughts. I really respect how you are able to still go about this. Like, you recognize that even though your mind is telling you one thing, it's logically not super accurate almost. Um, Myself, I've never worked and I'm 18, so I'm dreading having to go into that.
Don't worry, I was 18 when I got my first job too. So,
Um, if you're okay with it, I'd like to go over some of the potential outcomes of making this decision.
yeah, go ahead.
So, I want you to think about where your life could be in the next year or two if you decide to switch jobs. What can you tell me about that?
Um, well, um,
And take
I
as much time as you need.
I guess I would just, know more people. I mean, it depends on what kind of job I go to because I've had 2 jobs in the restaurant industry.
Mhm.
So if I did something outside of a restaurant or something, then, who knows if I'm gonna, make friends or not. Like,
Of
I don't know.
course.
I guess it just depends on the work environment, what I'm doing. Um, I think I think my social, I don't know what word I'm looking for.
It's okay.
Sociability, I guess, would kind of
Hmm.
decrease because I talk to these people every day, and before that, I only talked to like a handful of people, a couple like a week, and they were all in the same circle. So it's not like I was doing anything for my social interests, I guess.
Right. So you kind of feel like you might end up regressing back to that stage.
Yeah, I feel like I might end up isolating myself again.
Okay. And then if you decide to keep your current job, uh, how do you see that in the next few years?
Um, I'll stay in my hometown for the rest of my life, but I mean, it's not a bad thing, and I don't necessarily have to, stick around. But it's just that comfort of knowing people and knowing everyone that comes in.
Right. So it's a lot more familiar and it's safer almost because you don't have to go through meeting new people and adjusting and learning new things.
Yeah.
All right, so I just want to check, make sure I'm keeping up with everything. You are going to move very soon, and then you're also transferring colleges, so it's one closer to where you're moving. So
Yeah.
then you're trying to decide what to do about your job because you enjoy your job, the money's pretty decent, and you know the people there, and you're comfortable, you know what you're doing. But it's going to cost more when you have to drive further because your car is older and gas is expensive. And then on the other hand, you don't exactly know where you might end up if you switch jobs. You're nervous about meeting new people and you don't want to end up isolating yourself. And you're just kind of unsure about how I want to. You're unsure about your capabilities despite knowing that you still can. It's just nerve wracking.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I do want to say, since you are moving with your boyfriend, um, you won't be isolating yourself, and I hope that offers you some relief. Um, and I really think that you're doing great when you're making this decision because you are recognizing, like I said, you're not just looking at what your brain is telling you because sometimes that's not always right. Your emotions can construe things, but you're looking at like what other people have told you. You seem to have a pretty good support system. Am I correct in inferring that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, there's half of my brain is like, here are all the good things, but then the other half is like, no, all the bad things just
Yeah,
overshadow.
of course. So, when you say you make decent money at this current job, is it enough that it could help counteract some of the increased costs of having to drive further?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's just I'm
Okay.
lazy.
Yes, of course. I understand that too.
I don't really necessarily leave at the correct time, and I'm getting there, 2 minutes before I have to clock in.
So
It's just
you,
more the time
yeah.
management.
Okay, time management. Yeah, that's an issue that a lot of people have, especially in like young adulthood. Um, as we continue these sessions, where would you hope to be? Where do you where do you hope that we can get to through working through this?
I hope that I'm able to make a confident decision, through
Okay.
discussing it.
So you hope to be able to clearly make this decision and then you want to make the right choice.
Yeah, something I won't regret in the next upcoming months, I would say.
Of course. Okay. Um, is there anything else you'd like to talk about before we wrap things up?
Nope, I'm all good.
Okay. Thank you.
Do you want to do feedback now?
We can. Yeah, it doesn't matter to me really. Oh
I
boy.
think you do. What?
Just oh boy.
Oh, I think you did a really good job being empathetic and understanding. I really like that you kind of took everything that we've been going over and combined it for this one interview.
Thank you.
I was gonna say something else, but I forgot. Shit. Yeah, I like that you how you introduce the session and how you acted like we were gonna have like continuing sessions afterwards.
Hmm.
I haven't seen in other people who I've interviewed with.
Thank
Mm,
you.
yeah, that's about it for
I
that,
really
I guess.
appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
I really like your tattoos. I wanted to mention that.
Oh, thank you.
All right. If you're ready, I'm ready whenever. No rush, though, of course.
All right. Hi, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. Is it okay if I record you? And
Yeah.
it is okay if I take notes on what you say, and I might share it with my colleagues, and I can share it
Yeah.
with you if you.
Yeah,
All
that's okay.
right. So, what brings you in today?
I'm having a bit of a conflict with my mom mostly. Um, I've been going through a breakup and it's been about a month now. And this was a 3-year relationship, and my mom really liked him. She feels like I didn't make the right decision when it came to breaking up with him. And there's just a lot of conflict because I feel like she's still treating me like a child, even though I am like an adult now. And I just, it hurts when she doesn't support me and my decisions.
You said that your mom thinks that you made a bad decision. If you don't mind me asking, what kind of led to this breakup?
I'd been thinking about it on and off for about a year. Like, the good moments were really good, but then they were outnumbered by like the mediocre and then the bad. Um, a lot of it was like just some things felt kind of manipulative. But I'm almost certain it was unintentional. But then I would bring up what's bothering me, and he would like promise to work on it, and then he couldn't follow through. And then when I brought that up, he was like telling me that I need to keep on him, but I didn't want to have to do that because he's a 20-year-old man and I'm not his mother.
Yeah, you definitely have to put yourself first in those kind of situations. Yeah, you are definitely not his mother, and you are not his therapist. It's not your responsibility to keep him, in check and whatnot.
Of
Um,
course.
and did you tell your mom any of this?
I wasn't able to at first because emotions were so high. Like, it was a really hard decision to make because I knew how invested he was in the relationship. And then 3 years is a long time. And there was a lot of money involved that, like, he's bought me a lot of stuff over the years. And I felt guilty doing that. And I felt like it did take a lot for me to be able to put myself first and, like, realize my happiness is better and more important in my own life than just making him and my family happy. So I was really emotional and I couldn't really bring that up at first. And I think that might have been what made things worse, but I did manage to like share kind of how I felt a couple days ago, but I she didn't exactly want to hear it. It didn't seem it wasn't a face-to-face thing. Like, we were in the car and she's in the front seat with my dad and I'm in the back, so I couldn't see her face, but it just I guess she was crying and I felt really bad because like I can't I can't tell if it's because she really liked him or if she like just can't cope with change. Um sorry, that was a very long-winded way to say no, but yes, but not
No,
entirely.
I'm glad that you drew that out. You, I find it kind of odd that she cried, and I don't know your relationship with your mom. I don't know your mom at all, obviously.
Hmm.
But and I don't want to project anything onto her, but it kind of seems like she was also maybe emotionally connected to this guy.
Yeah, My dad has pointed out, like, in the past when we were with family for a week, she would cry when it came time to leave because she was connected with those people. And then this has just been 3 years and he's gotten very close to the family. So I think that's a lot of it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in a sense that she may feel like she's losing another family member. Like maybe she thought of
Hmm.
him as her son. I again, I don't know the answer.
Yeah.
But yeah, it might just be the change of someone that she was so familiar with for 3 years is suddenly not there anymore. But you
Mhm.
also said your father was in the car, and I'm assuming that you live with him or you're with him sometime.
Yeah. I live with my
So
parents and they're married and everything.
okay, so how did he react?
When I was finally able to tell them how I was feeling, like, he understood and he said, like, most of what was going on before I managed to say something was just because they didn't know. And he's kind of glad, almost, like, he's he didn't want me to stay somewhere that I'm unhappy. And it seems like he feels bad about how my mom's been reacting, but he's also working a lot, so I feel guilty putting that stress onto him because when my mom's mad at me, she takes it out on my dad. And I just feel like overall I've made my family just worse. Um, he's supportive of me as much as he's able, but he also works the midnight shift, so he sleeps during the day, so I don't see him very often. Um,
I
I'm
I'm sorry.
sorry.
No, it's okay. No, it's totally okay. I mean, I can't really relate to this. All of the boyfriends that I've had in the past, like my parents were not fans of them, so
Mm.
and they were always, kind of glad that I wasn't. They
Yeah,
all broke up with me, so it was like, they had to coddle me like
yeah,
been broken up with. So, but I I'm kind of like at a loss here because it's like your whole family has been negatively been affected by this breakup, even though that it was your choice and you knew that it was bad for you and you knew you couldn't continue this. Yet they're
hmm,
upset with you over this decision. Am I right?
yeah. It kind of does seem like that. I think mostly why I decided to seek out help was so that I could try to learn how I can better communicate, I guess. Like, whenever we end up talking, someone ends up mad. And I was hoping I could figure out a way to get things across more clearly before the tempers come out.
Hmm. So I think what you should do is maybe schedule ahead of time, like, you know, just like a chunk of time, like maybe an hour or something, and just get your parents together. Or I don't know if you have any siblings that have also been affected or cousins or something. Just get them all together, and hopefully everyone's in a neutral mood that day. Just like I don't know, but I guess just sit them down and like just tell them what you told me, like a total stranger. You had no
Yeah.
problem like expressing everything to me, like someone who doesn't know you, but yet you struggle with uh, effectively telling your parents how you feel.
Yeah.
So I maybe like kind of think of them as like complete strangers for like that time, and
Hmm.
you have nothing to lose telling them everything that went on. So I think just like clearing your mind of everything would kind of help.
Yeah, that makes sense. Um, that way I could cut out some of those emotions and frustration on my part at least.
Yeah, and also this was your boyfriend, not theirs. So I'm I'm not very sure where this like connection is coming from. Maybe it's the fact that they saw him making you happy for a period of time, and they were like, "Yeah, this guy's good. He's making my daughter happy." But the part I just don't understand is why they're so mad at you. They might they
I'm
might
not
be
un-
they might be upset because of the change, and the change is frustrating, and they don't know how to you know express their emotions. I guess like they're probably thinking, what's gonna happen now? What do we do now? Now that we don't see this guy often
Yeah.
in our life for 3 years, and now he's gone. What are we gonna do?
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm not entirely sure either, and it's getting to a point where I'm trying not to care as much because of how frustrating it is on top of like I'm stressed about school and everything. But it would be nice to be able to talk to them, and I think I can do that with what you were talking about.
Yeah, of course. Is it? I guess is it easy for you to talk to your parents? Just about anything.
It never really has been, no. Um, I'm more of an anxious person, and I'm a people pleaser, so like I want to make them proud of me. There's high expectations. I'm the oldest, and I've always done pretty decent in school and everything, so I want to keep doing decent, but then just adding on all of my stress on top of that, and just the conflict with my ex and everything, I feel like I'm going to let them down. So I've never really been able to talk to them because I felt like, hey, they already think I'm doing super well. I don't want them to think less of me.
I feel, but correct me if I'm wrong, but your, I guess, academic success isn't necessarily connected to this breakup slash
No, not at all.
So I'm just, I guess you don't have to worry about, letting them down in that sort of sense. And I'm, I mean, again, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but you probably feel happier. You probably feel more free. You definitely have a weight lifted off your shoulders from,
Yes.
having
Yeah.
to be your boyfriend's nanny. So I think that you should tell your parents, hey, this was the best for me. I'm a lot more relaxed. This weight was lifted from my shoulders, and just be completely open with them.
Yeah, that does sound like a good idea. Thank you.
Is there anything else that I'm missing, or you want to go
Um,
over?
let me think a sec. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I also know I've just been all over the place, and I really appreciate you keeping up with me.
No problem.
I think I'm good. Thank you.
Do you want to do feedback now, or?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No, you're
I'm
good.
very, I'm out of it today.
No, you're good. I know it's weird, like just completely
Hmm.
confessing all this stuff to like someone you've never met before. I
Yeah.
know, like after a couple of these interviews, I'm like, what?
Yeah. And then I keep trying to come up with new topics, but it never works, so I keep going back to the same one.
I know
Um,
all my time like relatively around the same thing.
I really appreciated how you were able to keep up, especially when there's a lot of information going in several different directions and you were still able to like stick to the main topic while still trying to acknowledge them best you could. Um, and then there were just a couple nitpicky things. I always felt like you were listening, which was great. And you weren't afraid of silence, which was also great. Um, the only real thing was like sometimes it felt like your note taking was struggling with, uh, I guess, being more present because that is a hard thing to do. Oh my gosh. And then, and I know I did it too, just going through the, what was this, influencing skills. Um, I definitely appreciated the advice. Just maybe if you had another opportunity to look into more of the consequence thing sometimes.
I totally forgot about that.
It's no problem. I also wasn't really making a decision though, so there wasn't a ton you could do there.
Oh, I totally slipped my mind anyways.
But other than that, I felt comfortable. I felt like you were listening. The dog was very nice.
I'm sorry. She's
No, she there your dog is fine.
Thanks. I learned all this working with my own therapist, I guess. I'm just kind of like hearing
Me too.
her so it's like, all right, obviously she's doing something right.
Yeah. Um yeah, thank you. Good luck with everything.
Yeah,
Moving
you
and
too.
job and everything.
Oh,
Thank
yeah,
you.
thank you.
All right. See ya.
Bye.